Morning, hurling fans. Hailstone Hurling starts now. Welcome to Kiva Sports Center, located in Middleton, Wisconsin. You are looking out upon Michael J. Stott's field, where the players play. I'm Matt Daly.
I'm Connor Jones.
All right, and welcome to another Hailstone Hurling broadcast. So, Connor, we have green versus red this morning. Green 0-2 so far. This is red's first game.
Yep.
What are you expecting this morning?
I'm expecting green to come out hard. They need to, and of course they need this win. Really quick, the standings actually are black 1-0, white 1-0, blue 0-0, red 0-0, and green 0-2. So this will be red's first game, the first time we get to see him in action.
All right.
Matt Daly, do you want to quickly read off the roster for red?
Sure. So on red we have Ross Dunford, Ryan George, John Hargett, Bill Jones, Chris Lane, Alan Morris, Tim Murphy, Niall Pender, Travis Schaefer, and Michael Twiggs.
And then on green we have Sean Doonan, Connor D, Dave Graff, Jake Martell, Brian Murphy, Mike Naparilla is out, and Andy Bean will be subbing for him. David Nelligan, Colin O'Reilly, and Tamis Tree Peterson. Our referee is going to be Derek Hayes. On scoreboard today is Willie and Jerry. And like I said before, I'm Connor Jones and joining the booth with Matt Daly.
All right, so I guess I jumped the gun. Now we can get on to our color commentary. So as we said, green 0-2, desperate need of a win to keep their season alive. Red 0-0. The locker room talk has been red is probably the strongest team on paper. We'll finally get to see if that holds today or not.
And we did get to see Alan Morris in action. He actually won man of the match last week for Team White.
Third round draft pick.
Yeah,
Alan Morris.
That's third round Alan Morris.
Third round draft pick Alan Morris.
Although it doesn't really matter because he got the first pick overall, so the snake came around to him, and he had to draft himself in the third round and the second round at the same time. So, but that's right, third round draft pick MVP. Wow.
He's really fallen down the draft board ranks.
Oh yeah, it's crazy to see,
Anyways, Derek Hayes, referee, just blowed up the whistle there. So we'll be getting going here any second now. So one thing I have, green scored 61 and 68 their first two games. I would expect to see an over 60 score again for green. I don't know if that's going to be enough against Ross and Allen, though. I think we're going to have to see them break 70 and even into the high 70s.
And you see Sean Doonan headed out to the goal, so he'll be playing goalie for green again.
Probably have a busy day. And Connor, you're logging into YouTube.
Yeah. Smile for the thumbnail. Well, that's a great thumbnail. All right,
we're going live.
We're live on YouTube, and not a moment too soon. Here comes the throw-in.
Welcome to those following on YouTube. You're just in time. We're getting going here.
All right, here comes throw-in. Brian Murphy and Ross shoving. And here comes Brian Murphy, comes away with it. Now he drops it, and Ross kicks it over to Chris Lane, puts it up front for Alan Morris. Can he get there? No. Stopped by Connor D. Now they're fighting for it. Alan Morris comes away with it, streaking across the middle of the goal. Resets his steps. Puts a shot on, but blocked by the two green defenders. Connor D with it now. Hand pass to Sean Doonan. Sean Doonan out. Intercepted by Ross, but then taken away by Brian Murphy. Hit up to the front, and I believe that's John or Niall. And that's a sideline cut for Ross. To Chris Lane, who puts it in on goal. Low on goal, and that's the first goal of the game. And that's a goal for Chris Lane.
Well done, Chris Lane. That was from almost midfield.
Yeah, and a sure shot right at the feet. Goalie's worst nightmare. That's Sean Doonan with the puck out all the way into the corner, and that's going to be collected by Bill Jones. Almost collected, actually stopped by Jake. Bill does get it out to Ross, who looks across the field, gets it all the way up to Allen, who is actually intercepted by Connor D. Connor D struggling to pick it up. Connor D still picking it up. Connor can't pick it up.
Oh, Connor.
And kicks it over to the corner, who is, and I believe that's Ross. I'm sorry.
That's Allen.
Colum, maybe? Yeah, Colum in the corner there.
Up in the corner.
And Colum comes away with it, soloing, in hot pursuit. Gets it off. Actually, blocked. It's
I think
Colum
that's
again.
Twiggs.
And Goes to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy comes away with it, running. This is dangerous for Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy over the bar for a point. I mean,
that's a point. Points aren't going to do it today, though. They're going to need some more goals.
That is. Do you know that player? Is
that's
that
Twigs.
That's Twigs, and is that Nile or is that John? Is that his nickname?
That's Michael Twigs.
Oh, Mike Twigs. Oh, that's Mike. Okay, and that's And did you see who scored that? Was that a goal? That was a goal. And did you see who scored it?
I was looking down at my score sheet, so I didn't.
We'll fix that in post.
Oh, off the rafters. Nelly's still getting used to the rafters above him.
That's the first rafters today, and that's 2 minutes into the game. We got our first rafters shot, and that's Nelly.
So out of the gate, Connor, a lot of pressure by Red on the green side. 2 goals already. Green with just the 1 point. They're going to need goals today, Green.
And that's a good sign for Red coming out so early and being able to be so dominant. And that's Connor D. plugging it out to Nelligan. Nelligan looking.
Oh, he's going to get called for steps.
Almost gets called for steps, but actually puts it wide. Puck out for Red. Here comes Bill. It's going to be a short puck out to, I believe that might be Nile, and that's Ross pucking it up to Twigs.
Oh, what a save by Sean.
Very nice save by Sean Doonan. Sean Doonan looking, but Connor D's got it. Connor D gets caught up, but gets a hand pass off to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy trying to go up with it. He does get it to Nelly, Chris Lane. That's lockdown defense from Chris Lane, but that's gets it off to Andy Bean. That's Column solo through 2 people. Column shot on goal, no good, and that's trickles in.
That's a great goal by Column.
And that's yeah, and like you say, that's never give up. Column solos through 2 people and ends up getting a rebound shot in. So here's Twigs looking for some help, and that's to Ross, and that's a hard shot from Ross wide.
Oh,
Alan Morris
fighting
for it, and he can't clean up, and where is it?
I think it's in the goal.
It's a goal. It is a goal. I thought I saw it go in the goal, and it was. It's the first goal of the day from Alan Morris. Sean Doonan puck out right to Ross Dunford. Can't do that. And I'm sure he's learned his lesson right there. You got to get those puck outs over the head of Ross.
Alan cleaning up another goal.
Third round. Wow, 2 goals already for Alan Morris.
That is a solid third round pick there.
Yes, very solid. I mean, Red lucked out really. And that's into the corner, but deflected by Bill Jones to Twigs.
Good running ball. Murphy, good follow up there.
And that's Column fighting for it. Allen's not going to let him have it easy, but now he's got it. Pucks it all the way up, looking for a point perhaps. Now it's a rebound. Jake can't clean up quite yet. He won't be called for a chop. He won't be called for a chop because he got the ball first, and that's Chris Lane not letting Nelly get an inch of space, and that's a shot from Jake. Doesn't go far. And
ferocious defense by Chris Lane so far.
Yeah, man, Chris Lane, you really see the veteran defender just not letting anything through here, and so now we got a fight between Alan Morris and Connor D. No one's giving each other an inch. A lot of pushing and shoving. No call. Now they're in the boards, but he gets help from. That was Brian Murphy, but now Nelly's got it. Nelly looking. Hand pass to Brian Murphy, intercepted almost by Ross, and that's now got to fight in mid here. Connor D trying to lift it. Yeah, and Nelly and Ross fighting for it now. Ross drops his stick, and that's Twigs coming away with it. Twigs with a shot wide. Where's Allen? There he is, and that's a goal for Alan Morris.
Third cleanup goal for Alan.
Here comes Sean Doonan. Sean Doonan puck out to the sideline. That's Nelly. Nelly fighting for it. Nelly, he's got to get it to his hand. He's got it. He's trying to put a move on Travis Safer. He does. Shot actually gets blocked by the.
It's Travis, I think.
Yeah, Travis. And shot gets blocked by the goal, but now it's Travis Schaefer hitting it up the sideline. Ross has got it now. Twigs going on a run, and he'll get it to him. Oh, can't settle it, and that's Connor D. Up to Nelly. What will Nelly do with it? He looks like that's Column. Column wants a goal. It's a good stop, but it was called a point. It looks like it deflected off the stick, or perhaps just went over the point, over the bar for a point, and that was Nelly.
So I think Red lined out how we almost expected them to. Ross playing deep in center back, kind of where he started games last year. Twigs holding down the center, and Allen, who's been poaching several goals now, up front.
And we saw Jake Martell make his offensive debut the other game, and I believe he had two. He had one goal, and then Tamas Tree Peterson had two alongside of him, so they're starting him up there this game. And that's Sean Doonan trying to block Ross Dunford. Just deflects into the goal, and that's a goal for Ross Dunford. And I believe that's his first goal of the game. Sean Doonan with the puck out, up the sideline, intercepted by, I believe that's...
Must be Niall.
That must be Niall. And that's Twigs now running with it, running. No steps, can't go to his hand. He knows, he resets, he picks it up, gets a shot off, and that's wide. And Sean Doonan's got an easy pickup. Maybe not so easy. That's some pressure. And that's oh no, Alan Morris in the middle. This could be deadly. This could be deadly, and it is not. But there's the follow-up from Twigs.
Twigs for the cleanup this time.
And that'll be the first goal for Twigs. And man, a lot of goal scorers for Red right now. In fact, only goals for Red. That's 7 goals for Red already.
That's the way to do it indoor.
All right. Oh no, into the corner, and Bill can't. Bill's still getting used to this. Is his first game too. He's still getting used to the boards there, and a cleanup goal for Brian Murphy, and his first goal of the match. I believe.
Much needed.
Yeah. And they're going to need some more scoring just like that. And Nelly's looking. What does he want to do with it? That's a shot that actually goes right into Brian Murphy, I think.
Ross blocked that.
Ross blocked that. All right. So Ross blocked that, but now Brian Murphy's going. He's playing an advantage. He's playing an advantage. I think Brian Murphy wants that. Let's see what he... Advantage is over, and now that's Niall with the pass up to Allen. Allen's struggling to get it in his hands. He's got Chris Lane. He's got lots of options. He'll probably get it to Chris Lane right now. Smart move. Now he's running. Chris Lane can't get a hold on it. He's being defended by Collum. Chris runs to the middle, puts a shot over the bar for a point. That's a Chris Lane point.
That's Chris's second score of the game?
Second score of the game, first point. So he has a goal and a point. Sean Doonan looking for someone to puck out. Says, give me an option, give me an option. Puts it up. Oh no, and that's that can be very deadly. Jake's got to get that to his hand. He can't. It looks like he can't, and he couldn't. That's Ross with the cleanup. And a nice little pass over. Oh, wow. Very good interception by Connor D. Connor D with a pass up to Brian Murphy, but Brian Murphy into the sideline for a sideline cut.
Connor had a very good game in the backs, game 1 for Green. I don't think he was available game 2.
And he's a guy in game 1 that you saw all up and down the field. I mean, he was everywhere in game 1. You know, and that's Green had a lot of subs. He was on and off the field a lot because I saw him running.
Ooh.
And
Allen makes easy work of him there, though.
Yeah, not much you can do about that, though. Running through the middle, and now he's got such a good shot on the run. But this is Brian Murphy now with it. Brian Murphy, blistering shot over the bar. And you think that was the goal for Brian Murphy? Is a point there, or maybe he was trying to get it in, or
he was definitely hitting it hard.
Yeah, which is it's Brian Murphy's special right there.
Sailed high.
So out for Colin is out. That's Dave Graff with a solo down the sideline. Puts it in his hand.
Went to the boards.
He's held up by Allen. Allen says you can armbar him in the boards, but Darren thought it was a little too much grabbing going on there. Awards Dave Graff a free, and he has to take it because it's on the offensive side of the field.
I like the implementation of that rule this year.
I do like that rule a lot, and you know, one thing about it is it gets a lot more hailstones, a lot more practice with frees, which is awesome to see. And that's Travis Schaefer, sure hands at Travis Schaefer, lay off to Alan Morris, who puts the brakes on, trying to put a move on Connor D, but that's a block by Connor D. Good defense there. Connor D with it in his hand. Connor D looking up, and that's a stop by Brian Murphy, but now it's picked up by Chris Lane. Could he get his third score of the game? He does. Blows it by Sean Doonan. What a shot from Captain Chris Lane.
The score on the scoreboard is 28 to Red, 9 to Green,
and
10 to Green.
And that was a nice puck out from Sean Doonan up to that's Jake Martell. Got it in his hand and put it over for a point.
Bill pucks it out right to Colum.
Colum over the bar, and that's the first score of the game for Colum O'Reilly. Score from the backs, very impressive.
Sean, the Green goalkeeper, directing his team, lads, we need goals. Let's see if they listen. They're true.
It's a good stop by Sean Doonan. It's a kick save. Sean Doonan fighting for it, covered by, I believe that's Twig. Sean Doonan out to Nelly. Nelly running, covered by Ross. Nelly deep over the bar for Nelly. All right.
So if you look at the scores from game 1 and game 2, similar type of scoring pattern from Green, a lot of points, and that just won't cut it in high-scoring indoor affairs.
You know, obviously Brian Murphy isn't talking to his team and saying, you know, we need goals, because they do take their points, and they have for the last 3 games. But we'll see if that pays off for him this time. That hits the tape, and Ross is awarded a point. Derek did signal that was a point for Ross. Here comes Sean Doonan. He's gonna just get an easy pass off to Collum. Collum covered by Travis Collum, running through the middle. Hard shot, but that was deflected by, I believe, Niall. That's Bill Jones just tapping it out to Niall. This will be Collum again. He's got another shot at the goal. He's running. I think he will go for goal. Let's see it. Hard shot. Wow, that's top shelf.
Great goal call
for Colin O'Reilly. Again, a scorer coming up from the backs and getting it done in the mid. And
Red pucked it out straight to Green. Murphy wasn't able to turn in a goal, but what's the call?
What was the no goal. That it actually hit the inside of the goal and bounced out. Derek blew his whistle instinctively, but then said no goal, play on, and they kept playing on, and that's makes its way all the way to Sean Doonan. Sean Doonan running up the mid. Sean Doonan wants something. No, he's better. He's got it back. He's got to back up now. No, he wants to hang out in the mid for a little bit. Nelly running through the middle, covered by Alan Morris. And come on, Jake Martell's got to do something with this, and he goes across the field, and Brian Murphy was huffing and puffing. He wasn't there for the pass. That's Chris Lane with an easy pass to Ross. Ross blowing through the defense here. It looks like that'll be an easy goal for Ross.
I'd venture, Connor, anytime you give Ross a clear run from midfield on goal, he can turn that into a goal.
And I'm sure that's exactly what Brian Murphy said to his team before the game. Double, triple team Ross as you have to, but running down the middle, that's a no-go. And that's Chris Lane with a pass to the side, and Ross fighting Sean Doonan. That almost rolls in. Sean Doonan actually saves it. Brian Murphy there to help. Brian Murphy with it in his hand. Can't get away from Ross. Trying to reset it. Ross just gives him good defense. Brian Murphy grabs the stick. No call there. Ross playing some soccer here, and he actually gets it out to Chris Lane. Chris Lane to Alan Morris. Alan Morris with the wind-up shot. Points for Alan Morris.
Now score for Red. 33-15 on the scoreboard.
And so far, as many people thought, very dominant performance from Red. Sean Doonan puck out. Hopefully gets over. Does not get over the head of Twig, and that's a fight in the boards. And Derek will say, too much pushing and shoving in the boards. Can't be doing that. And he awards a free to Nelly. Jake grabbing a sub for Tamas Tree Peterson. Nelly with the free here.
He'll have to go low here. One would assume.
Here's the wind-up. What is he going to do? Looks like it was maybe meant to be low, but that looked a little too sure of a shot to be a unintentional point. Point for Nelly.
All up in the front. Sean comes off his line.
That's Dave Graff struggling. He's got time, though. He's not marked. Dave Graff, that's Tree calling for it in the corner. Dave Graff gives it to him. Tree's almost tall enough to get there. Now there's a fight in the corner, but Bill smartly just hits it out. Almost gets to Alan Morris. Now covering Brian Murphy, who's got the ball, covering him. He can't get a break here. He can't get away from Alan Morris. Brian Murphy with the lift. He's got it now. He's looking. It's going to be to the corner to Tree Peterson. Tree gets it in his hand first time. Tree looking for a shot. Trying to put the moves on. Can't get the ball to Collum. Tree now lifts to his hand again. He's running through the middle. He'll try to take a shot. That doesn't go anywhere. Tree now pressuring the goalkeeper, Bill Jones. Bill Jones feeling the pressure, and that's Tree with the block down right there. And Tree gets a goal. Wow, what a
great work right there.
What an amazing offensive effort from Tree. And you see that play right there. Didn't give up on it in the corner. Was able to get the block down on Bill Jones, and then clean up goal right there. And that's huge for Green. And that's Andy Bean now on the field for Green. Brian Murphy to the corner looking for Tree. Not there. I believe that's Niall. Niall pucking it out to Ross. Andy Bean. And
good work rate again by Bean.
And that's instead of taking the lift, tries to get the pass up to Tree. Tree fighting for it. Tree flicks to the middle. Andy Bean there, covered by Ross. And that's Chris Lane coming away with it. Chris Lane all the way up front to Alan Morris. This could be deadly, but Sean Doonan gets it in his hand first time up to Andy Bean. Deflection into the middle. There's Niall trying to get it, trying to lift it. And that's covered by 3 green defenders. And now we got something going on in the middle here. Right up the gut, and that's Niall. What can he do with it? What can he do? I think that was a push from Ross Dunford right in the gut of Column. That's not Niall, excuse me. Column will now back it up to the 13-meter line and take a free with 3 red defenders on the line.
I think we can expect this to be turned into a goal.
And we got 1 viewer on the YouTube live now, so say hi in the chat if you're watching. And that's
and it's a point.
Wow, a great deflection from the red line for a point. That's a huge save for red, and that's a point for Colum O'Reilly.
The score is 33-20. So that's red up by 13. They were just up 18 a few minutes ago. So Green chipping away ever so slightly.
They've got their offensive stride here. Their passing has really turned on. And here's Brian Murphy up to Tree. He's got 2 red on. I'm not sure he can collect this one here. But here's Andy Bean with a chance for a collection. He can't.
This is it.
And that's Chris Lane with a quick hand pass out to Ross Dunford. And wow, that was going to upper shelf. Sean Doonan puts it over the bar for a Ross Dunford point.
34-20, a little bit under 8 minutes left.
And with under 8 minutes left, I think it's time for the Pabst Blue Ribbon trivia question. So the trivia question this week will be, what is the only way to make a 2-point score in Camogie? And we'll come back with the answer right before the start of the second half.
Okay.
Alan Morris running through the middle here, covered by 3 green members, and still puts it in the back of the net for Alan Morris. 3rd round pick, Alan Morris with 5 goals.
Count at 5.
Bill,
the top scorer of the day so far as well.
Bill pucks it out to the corner where Alan Morris is fighting Dave Graff. Dave Graff is able to get it out to Column.
There by Dave. Good vision.
Column looking, but covered very well by Twigs. That's a solo. That's a solo. And wow, very good call from Derek Hayes. You can't go to your hand 3 times, and that's exactly what Column did, and he realizes it too. That'll be a free from the defensive half of red.
So what Column missed out on there was the David Dodge reset.
Yes. You know, it's so easy here to bounce it off the turf. Michael J. Stotts, it's really nice here. You can get that nice reset and keep running, and he just forgot about it, I'm sure. David Dodge will have a talk with him about it after the game, I'm sure.
Column, if you're listening, practice your reset at home.
That's big and indoor, very big, and that's actually a wide from Ross. And now a puck out from Sean Doonan. Goes up to Tree, who is able to stop it, but actually kind of rolls by him after the touch. But here's Andy Bean, defended by Ross Dunford, who knocks him over here. And that's Connor D actually gets it out to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy uncontested in the middle. Brian Murphy with a shot deflected by Bill Jones. That'll be a 65. And a really nice sequence for Green and a nice save for Bill Jones.
If Green could steal 2 or 3 more goals here before half and limit red to points, might have something cooking for the second half potentially.
Brian Murphy will take his point. I think he's comfortable with this deficit. He's seen what his team can do, and he takes his point there. That's a puck out, but right to Brian Murphy, rather right into the sideline. That's no good for Green, but actually it worked out a little bit better than it could have, going into the hands of Brian Murphy, which is now sideline cut. Brian Murphy,
great cut
over the bar, sideline cut in the indoor turf for Brian Murphy. Very impressive.
I've been watching Murphy this season, and those sideline cuts have really come along, especially on the indoor surface.
I've noticed the same thing, and who else but Alan Morris? But he doesn't get it in, and here's
from
Brian Murphy.
Downtown Joe Brown.
That's the full length of the field point for Brian Murphy. And Bill feeling the frustration this morning. Again, it's his first indoor game, but he's still a veteran. I don't quite know what's going on. Maybe we'll see another sideline cut point for Brian Murphy. The score is 37-24 for red. That's a sideline cut, but right to Ross Dunford, who
go take his point.
Return to sender for Ross. That's a point.
38-24, red in the lead.
That's Sean Doonan with the puck out to Tree. Tree can't get a hold of it. Bill's got time. Nice little pass to almost to Ross over his head, and now there's a fight for it. That's Twigs running away with it. He falls. Connor D's got it up to Brian Murphy looking, defended by Ross, looking, blocked down by Ross. That's Alan Morris on the follow-up. Brian Murphy's got it again. He's huffing and puffing. There's Sean Doonan. Ooh, that could have been deadly into the zone goal, but instead he gets a nice little puck out to the corner. That is Niall with the pass up to Ross Dunford, who smokes it over the bar for a point. I'm sure Ross is completely comfortable taking points and giving Sean Doonan a break there in the goal. And that's 39-24 for Red with 4 minutes left to play. This is Niall fighting for it. Fighting in the boards, little grab, and nobody's calling anything. There's Ross with a pass up to what tried to be Allen, but it was blocked down, and that's Murphy with a shot. And he is awarded a point for that shot. Another point from deep, and that's 5 points from Brian Murphy. Obviously wanting to conserve his energy, but he will be taking a sub for Colm O'Reilly. Colm O'Reilly on the defense of Ross Dunford right now. He's got to stand him up. Ross Dunford almost uncontested. It's a save from Sean Doonan. A one-handed save from Sean Doonan.
Goal face.
Still a scrum going on. Ross Dunford fighting for it. Covered by Dave Graff. Ross Dunford running away from it. Falling. Can't get a shot off. Ross Dunford covered a little too aggressively by the green defense and is awarded a free.
39-25, just under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Red in the lead. That's a 14-point advantage. Their peak advantage was 18 or so.
Earlier in the first half, so they have the power to bring it back, but
it's back up to 17.
Perhaps spoke too soon, as that's an easy goal for Ross Dunford. Not much you can do about saving that. They might as well just walk out of the way.
So for those watching from home, Ross's free that was converted into a goal there, he went low. He was at people's feet. We've seen a few green frees not go in the back of the net. They were going high. You know, some people do like the upper shelf, but not Ross. He actually, again, another goal from Ross right there, and that's another low goal from Ross. Matt Daly with the advice. It's true. Goalie's worst nightmare is a low ball right there. That's Tree fighting for it with Travis, and Tree actually comes away with it, who tries to get it out to Nelly, but oh man, what is Sean Doonan to do? But you know, that's all you can do. Come out on Ross Dunford, and that's the 5th goal of the game for Ross Dunford, overtaking Alan Morris as the lead scorer of the game. That was 3 goals in about a minute and a half there for
Ross. That's Green's worst nightmare, 3 unanswered goals, of course. Green's got to step something up. Perhaps Brian Murphy is looking for a early timeout, but not this late in the first half, I'm sure. There's a scrum for it. Connor D's being shoved into the boards by Ross Dunford. Chris Lane gets away with it. Chris Lane, that's a pass to Niall. Niall with the scoop up to his hand. A weak side pass to Ross Dunford. Can't get it up, and that's Colm O'Reilly. Got to make him pay. Makes him pay with a point. That's another point from Colm O'Reilly. Colm O'Reilly taking up a midfield and defensive role this game. Very productive for Green. That's going to be to Ross, and Bill was looking for maybe a little bit more of a run to the corner from Ross, but instead he misses him a little higher. So we got a minute left to play here. Colm goes, tries to go low on a shot, but ends up getting deflected to Connor D. Connor D pushes it to Tree. Tree's fighting Bills with the ground hurl to Allen. Allen now has it in his hand. Allen's looking to score himself. The 3rd-round pick actually lays it off to Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford, and now Dave Graff fighting in the corner. Ooh, a little push and shove in there. Connor D comes in to help. That's the goalkeeper, Sean Doonan, who's puck out to Tree, actually. Tree's got it. He's got to make him pay. And, wow, a blistering shot from Tree just wide. That could have been exactly what Green needed, but instead, Chris Lane has it out. Chris Lane with the pass up to Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford, fake shot, wind up, goal. And that's the 6th goal of the game, and all in the first half for Ross Dunford. With 6 seconds left, Sean Doonan taking his time with the puck out. Tree's got to turn and score, but instead it looks like we're going into the half with a score of 51-26, and Red looking to break the scoreboard this game.
They might actually. They're on pace. If they double that, it'll be 102.
I mean, yeah, not only are they on pace, but they've gone into this half with a flurry of scoring, and just either a defensive breakdown from Green or a offensive flurry from Red has led to quite the gap.
Definitely more the latter, or a bit of both. But there, the last 3 minutes, Ross moved kind of out of a defensive position. He was more up top, And between Ross, Allen, and Twiggs up top, they were just pounding in goals. Like Ross put in 3 goals in 90 seconds. Allen put in a couple more there towards the end. It's just when you're letting in that many unanswered goals, it's that you get a scoreboard kind of like this.
So we've seen Green play defense. We've seen Green play offense. They can come back and win this game. This game is definitely not over. 25 minutes is a long time in an indoor game of hurling here. What does Green have to do to make it happen here?
So to be honest, guys, you're more hopeful than I am that Green has a chance at coming back at this 20, or they're down 25 points. Hey Bill, 25-point deficit. Like, you're going to have to score 8, 9 goals just to break over the top, unanswered. And unanswered goals against this red team just it doesn't look possible to come by. Like, you're going to have to account for red scoring. So the only way Green gets back in this game is if they put up 30 goals in the second half. Like, they're gonna have to put up some serious scoring, and it's gonna be hard to come by. Because let's give Red some credit as well. Like, Red's defense has played exceptionally well. Like, Chris Lane in the backs has been ferocious. He's been marking Nelly. He's been marking Murphy. He's marked a few different guys coming through, and he's made it hard for them to make runs. He's forced them to take their shots deep. Bill Jones as your goalkeeper is going to make goals hard to come by. Those goals from midfield that a lesser mortal might let in. Bill Jones from far, he's been our goalkeeper now for the best part of a decade, and he's earned that spot. So goals are hard to come by from him. Bill Jones running over here with a little camera action. Hey Bill. Bill, oh yeah, behind us, for those who can't see, there's a football scrimmage going on. We have maybe 16 or so, 8-on-8 or 7-on-7 men's Gaelic football going on as well, part of the Hurling and Gaelic Football Club of Madison. But yeah, it's going to be a Herculean effort, Connor, for Green to get back into this. Everything's going to have to go their way.
It's true. You mentioned that an 18-point deficit was huge, and they brought it back to a 12, but now with a 25-point deficit, they're going to have to come out of the gate hard and fast. So with a little bit left in the half, let's wrap up the Paths Blue Ribbon trivia question. If you're watching live, get your answers in now. The question was, what is the only way to make a 2-point score in Camogie? And
I honestly, I didn't know the answer to this.
I didn't either.
I have the answer here in front of me now, so now I know.
Very surprising. And Matt, why don't you let us know, how do you score 2 points in Camogie?
Well, you might think it's off the crossbar. It's not off the crossbar. You might think it's off the post. It's not off the post. Kicking it over the bar? No. The only way to score 2 points in Camogie, believe it or not, and Brian Murphy would have scored one earlier.
They could have used this rule.
Is from a sideline cut, striking it over the bar.
Very interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either. So
the crossbar is the crossbar should definitely be a 2-point score. I'm sure many have talked about that, but a dead zone right in the middle of a point and a goal. It's just kind of weird to have it come right back into play. But the only way to score 2 points is in Camogie, and that's sideline.
Some of the other rule differences I'm aware of, I think they can pick the ball straight off the deck, as far as I know. Pretty sure there's no shoulder to shoulder.
That's right. I think that's right too.
I think those are the two, at least that I'm aware of, the two primary rules.
I believe they don't take 65s; they take 45s.
Okay.
I believe that, or it might be 55. But it's a little bit closer than a 65. And that's another thing that. Oh, and they can hand pass into the goal.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one, and you do see that happen in a lot of Camogie action here in America, at least.
So for those listening at home, we're trying to get a Camogie club started here within the next year or two. So any ladies out there watching who either play Gaelic football or who are interested in the sport of Camogie and hurling, reach out to our Facebook group and to the ladies Gaelic football group. Or
if you're watching live, drop a chat. We'd love to talk with you in the chat room here.
We do have one person on, whoever that is.
We do have one person. He or she is a little shy in the chat room. And here we go. 25 minutes on the clock. We got both teams lined out. And Derek posed to throw it in. He gets it in. Ross misses, and that's a scrum in midfield. That's Colm O'Reilly fighting for it. Brian Murphy actually zoops in, is able to come away with it with a shot over the bar. He is awarded a point. It hit the tape, awarded a point. That's the first score of the second half. Brian Murphy point.
Zoops. Zoopson.
Change it up a little bit. And that's Andy Bean tries to intercept, and he is successful. Oh, sorry, that's Colum, yeah. And I thought Andy Bean was on red for a second. That's Colum with he scoops. He's unable to scoop, and that's Ross. Weak side, not really a weak side, but left side. That's in the back of the net. The first score for red, and that's a goal, and that's a characteristic of red. They are goal scorers in this game.
I wonder if Red at halftime discussed breaking the scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, and they come out with a goal in the first 1 minute, and that's how you do it. Here's Alan Morris fighting for it, covered by Connor D. He's doing a pretty good job this game. That's Chris Lane.
With the fake.
Chris Lane, and wow, what a recovery! And
another goal.
Red is just flexing right now on everyone, saying, "Watch out for us. We're the team to beat this season." And that's a goal up front for Twigs. That's Brian Murphy. He's looking low, and
he got it.
That's
what you gotta do.
Bill Jones gets a stick on it, but Brian Murphy with the spin shot. I'm sure there's a lot of spin on that. Spins into the goal. That's Colm O'Reilly. They're gonna need another goal. Colm O'Reilly looking for it. But
which way is he gonna give it?
And that might be a first here on indoor. That is a deflection from Ross Dunford into the rafters. Derek is saying there was some back and forth, and it ended up. It ended a very smart move from a very smart move from Derek. There was some argument over whose stick it went off of. Derek moves it up 13 meters. This will be a very close shot for Ross. If this ends up in a goal, it doesn't. It goes for a point, and that's a little too wide off the tape. That's no point for Ross Dunford, says referee Derek. Chris Lane has it now. Running. Hand pass. Ross Dunford passing up to Alan Morris, who's covered by Connor D. Connor D with the stop. Connor D in his hand. Connor D running. He needs a goal here. This would be an amazing play for Connor D. And he goes wide, but Tree is there. Connor D dropping back, and Alan Morris. Tree fighting for it. Tree still fighting. Tree fighting. Almost in his hand. Derek will call a foul on Ross for giving a little too much to Tree here. Tree must take this. And we've seen Tree's shot come along in the last couple games. Even Tree's got a very hard shot. Let's see what he can do.
He's got some nice white boots.
And that's an actually easy collection for Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford with a puck out to the corner. Alan Morris can't get there. That's Sean Doonan with the puck out to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy can't stop it. And that's Niall in the corner. Niall up to Chris Lane, can't get it to his hand, covered by Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy up with it, running through the middle, left side, stopped by Bill Jones. Bill Jones has got time, covered by Tree though. Bill Jones up the field to almost collected by Colum, deflected by Twigs. Colum now has it. Colum shot low in the net, and that's a goal for Colum O'Reilly.
I have to comment there on the maturity by Connor D there to take his time. He actually faked out Alan Morris, found an open man with a hand pass, and that turned into a goal. So
rumor has it Alan Morris is a third-round draft pick, and a big one for Red in this game when
another goal
as he gets a goal.
Third-round draft pick Alan Morris.
That's a goal for the third rounder. Here comes Sean Doonan up the sideline. Brian Murphy is giving up on it. That's a collection for Bill Jones. He looks like he wanted a pointer maybe or something like that. Actually goes harmlessly to Connor D. Connor D to Dave Graff. Dave Graff looking.
That's
hand
Colum.
pass up to that's Colum. That is Colum. Sorry, I thought it was Dave Graff. That's Tree attempts to lift it, and it is he said that Tree was giving it a little too hard to Ross. No, that sideline. As I thought. Wait, Tree's got to take it.
No, it's a sideline. Sideline to green.
That is a sideline. Wow, I thought there was a foul there, and I totally missed the fact that it was. That's almost 2 points for Brian Murphy, just getting 1 point. And that's Nelly with the attempting to collect, but he's covered by Niall. Nelly actually breaks away through the middle to Tree in front of the goal, and
point blank.
You know, for Bill Jones, why would he stick his neck in front of that with such a score deficit? That's a goal for Thames Tree Peterson. Bill Jones with the puck out right to Alan Morris. Alan Morris cannot collect.
Well
Connor
defended
D.
by Connor again.
Connor D by himself actually lays
Nelly.
it off to Nelly.
Well done by Ross.
And that's a block straight to Alan Morris. And here's the passing game for Red. Unbelievable as an upper 90 goal for Ross Dunford. And
that was a cute little goal too. He took a little bit off of it and kind of curved it into the top corner.
Very precise shot. Didn't really need to put a lot on it there. That's
great goal by Murphy.
And that is the Brian Murphy that we know and love from indoor. The streak down the sideline, upper 90 goal from Brian Murphy, and it's on display right there. That's a goal for Brian Murphy.
Allen pushes his own teammate over down the corner. He wants that goal.
Allen. Oh, that's an interception by Colin O'Reilly. Colin streaking, soloing. He can go to his hand again, but instead he stick passes over to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy, he's thirsty. He's hungry for a goal. And he's got it. He's got it right there. And this is the flurry of scoring that Green is going to need if they want to bring it close again. And that's a puck out to... that's Twiggs. Twiggs looking. Twiggs hand pass up to Alan Morris. A great hand pass. Alan Morris putting the moves on Jake Martell. Jake Martell
drags him down.
Jake Martell with a pretty good textbook tackle for a football player, but not here in hurling. So they better turn around. Here it comes.
That's a goal.
Goal for the third rounder.
66 to red, 42 to green. A little under 19 minutes left here in the match. So that's a 24-point deficit.
And that's, of course, Red holding on to that 24-point deficit that they went into the half with. Still poised to break the scoreboard for the first time in indoor history. Chris Lane with it now. Chris Lane up to Alan Morris, and let me guess what's going to happen here.
Goal.
Oh, a deflection from Sean Doonan. Oh. No, a deflection from Sean Doonan, but that's new player. That might be new player John Hargett. John Hargett comes in, tries to clean up. He can't. That's Ross Dunford with the puck out to Alan Morris. Alan Morris with it in his hand. Alan Morris trying to put the moves on Jake Martell. Jake Martell's not letting him go by. He's standing his ground. Alan resets. Almost a dodge reset, but that's...
What's the call?
A lot going on there.
It
looks like Sean Doonan was barking at Derek about steps. Derek has awarded steps on Alan Morris. Alan Morris, too many steps there with the lockdown defense from Jake Martell, and that is Brian Murphy calling for Alan Morris to step out of the way. Brian Murphy now has room. He takes his rafters, defended by the sneaky rafters, and that'll be a free out for that.
I guess that could also be Ryan George.
Brian George?
Ryan.
That could be Ryan George too. I'm not 100% sure.
Not sure. So many new faces on the club.
And that's so great to see. I've never seen either of them. I thought for sure I'd be able to figure it out, but that is a great stop from Sean Doonan. Sean Doonan up the sideline to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy pass to Nelly, shot on goal. Wow, and an extremely hard shot on goal. Bill Jones gets a stick on it, but deflects into the goal, and that's a goal for Nelly.
This is the point at a Wisconsin ice hockey match where the crowd would be yelling at Bill, Civ. It's okay, Bill. You've been doing good so far today.
Not much you can do first game this season against hard hitters like Brian Murphy and David Nelligan, but here's I was going to call a goal for Ross Dunford, but it goes right over the bar, and I'm not sure what, perhaps Brian Murphy was complaining about the possibility of a crossbar. No crossbar here in indoor.
I think Sean stood out of the way of that one. I would have too.
Yeah, that's Ross Dunford with 8 points. Travis Schaefer with a stop, and that's Ross Dunford covering Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy up to David Nelligan. David Nelligan, that's a fight. Chris Lane will not come away. He might just come away with it yet. And
tenacious defense by Chris Lane.
After all said and done, Derek has awarded Chris Lane a free, but Chris does not have to take it because it's on the defensive half. This will be taken by Ross Dunford.
So I wonder if our commissioner next year will extend the if you're fouled you take the free to the whole field.
Yeah, because a point's a point, and the whole point is, not to just have your free taker come over and have a free score, because that's essentially what it is in anywhere in indoor. So I could totally see that happening next season. That's a shot from Tree Peterson, stopped by Bill Jones. Bill Jones with the puck out now. Midfield collected by Connor D. Connor D to Colin. Colin puts the jukes on.
Great dummy.
He passes to David Nelligan. Nelly with a shot. Easy collection for Bill Jones.
Tree can't.
Bill Jones
Can't
actually
sweep up
drops
the
it, but
garbage.
is able to get it out to Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford.
Rafters.
Rafters. There needs to be a score box on the score sheet for Rafters. I think we've had 3 this game.
We should actually we should sell a sponsorship for whenever it hits the Rafters.
Yeah,
any sponsors out there listening?
Yeah. We're selling the Rafters. We could and Rafter shot will be taken by Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy with the windup. It looks like he'll go low, but that's off to the side. Nelly with a shove in the back of Chris Lane. No call. Chris Lane actually gets it up to Twigs. Twigs running, puts the jukes on Brian Murphy. What's
Great
Twigs going to do with it? But that's
can't finish it. Wild swing there at the finish.
Yeah, that's a good hook and a errant wild swing. Almost connecting with it, but ends up catching a little bit of Brian Murphy. Connor D is able to collect in front of the goal mill. Connor D to Colin O'Reilly. Colin O'Reilly, long shot across the field for a wide ball. This will be a puck out for Bill, who wants to take it quickly, and that's Red not stepping off the gas as they should not.
Wonder if maybe Supermax will sponsor our Rafters.
That'll be great.
Oh, it's Sean.
And yeah, that's
just let that dribble in.
Weird to see there. Perhaps he thought it was going one direction, but it really wasn't. But that's a seriously hard shot on the ground from Chris Lane. From midfield, it's a goal for Chris Lane.
71-45 is the score. It was 51 at halftime, so they've picked up 20 points in a little over 10 minutes.
And
so that's 10 points a minute.
Yep.
At that pace, they actually would break 100.
Yeah, so at 12:25, which would be the halfway point, they're going to need 75 if they want to look at breaking 100. They might get it. That's Colin O'Reilly down the sideline with a shot over the bar for Colin O'Reilly. Bill to an open. Wow, a great stop by Twigs. Twigs picks it up, tries to put the jukes on Connor D. And whoa, that's more like it. Sean Doonan. Sean Doonan with the diving save collected by Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy. Colin O'Reilly. That's I believe that's Niall marking in, and that's a goal for Colin O'Reilly. Upper 90 goal for Colin O'Reilly. This is Bill Jones out to Alan Morris. Alan Morris covered by Connor D. Now Sean Doonan's got the collection. Oh, not to his hand yet. Alan Morris is right there, not giving up. Alan Morris with the kick out to Niall. Sorry, that's Twigs, and Alan Morris in the goal mouth.
Connor D doing some great work.
And that's great defensive work from Connor D. Sean Doonan grabbing his shin. It looks like he maybe took a stick to the leg there. That's Nelly with the shot wide. Bill Jones with the ground hurl follow-up. A calm ground hurl to Niall, who actually can get it out to Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford, again, he's got a brick on the gas pedal, that Ross Dunford, and that's another goal for Ross.
I do think Red talked at halftime about breaking the scoreboard. I think that's what's on their mind, because they're going for goals still.
Well, they are going for goals, you know. And that's Sean. So Sean Doonan is now limping off the field. It definitely sounded and looked like he took a couple sticks across the shins in that scrum there. Green, and that's going to be a timeout taken by, I'm not sure, perhaps taken by Allen, but more than likely taken by Green.
So I guess during this timeout, for those who haven't heard at home, congrats to the Hurling Club of Madison. We won the North American Club of the Year of 2018 by Play Hurling. So go onto Facebook, find Play Hurling. They're great advocates for the sport across North America, and we as a club are honored to have won that for the 2018.
Yeah, they do a great job of popularizing American hurling. They're really good about talking to every different club across America, uniting everybody in the common goal of promoting hurling in America. So thank you to Play Hurling for everything they've done this past year for us, and thanks for sponsoring that contest.
Yeah. What they've been promoting this weekend, the U.S. North, or like the Collegiate Championship is on this weekend.
NCGAA, it's something like that.
So this will be published Sunday, this video, and we'll probably know by the time of publish who's won. So go check out Play Hurling, and go check out the Facebooks and see who won the Collegiate Championship.
We actually hosted Purdue, which is a collegiate team, and at the Midwest tournament, which is the tournament we put on every year, and they were pretty dominant in the Junior C tournament. They were doing a very good job.
They did.
So yeah, they played very well in the Junior C tournament for us. The last 2 years, I think they were all here with us last 2 years.
It helps when several of the Cusics also put on their colors and play with them.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were short a couple, so they rented a few from the Cusacks, but still played very well. Derek with an update here.
Oh, he's asking the scoreboard, right?
So in the first half, I missed I missed like 5 points from green, and then I think I got everyone from there. So Matt Daly now counting up the score to confirm the score is right. Derek with his own bookkeeping here. Counting up all the goals from Alan Morris takes a while. And there appears
21-8 is 63, 73, 72, 71. So we're missing probably 4 on our score sheet. Ten, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 44. Yeah, it looks like we're missing a few on our score sheet, but we'll clean that up. And
I was expecting to miss 5 for green, so that's expected. But I did miss 5 for green, but I am a little bit off on the score for red. Is that right? Do I have the score right for red?
Yeah, we have red score right. 74.
Oh, great. So I'm on. I missed some points in the first, but I've gotten them since. So here we go. The action starts back up again with I believe that was a puck out, and now we got some action in front of the red goal. Red again not giving up. That's we believe to be a new player, either Ryan or John there, and now he'll get a chance to he ground hurls it to the middle, but that's Brian Murphy to intercept. Brian Murphy doesn't swing, instead resets, but now it's a wide swing there. That's Chris Lane running away with it, covered by Nelly. That's to Alan Morris with an amazing pass to Chris Lane, and that's a hook from Connor D, a brave hook, who actually gets his stick knocked out of him. Alan Morris is able to follow up. Nelly stepping in goal. Nelly's got it. Nelly running down the field. He'll take his solo now. Uncontested. He's looking. He wants a pass. He gets it up to Brian Murphy, who's got to put a shot on goal. It's got to go in the net. It doesn't. That's a stop from Bill Jones.
Great save.
Good stop from Bill Jones. That's Tree Peterson collecting in front of the net. We've seen Tree in this situation before, but he actually gives it off to Nelly, who puts it low, and that's
great save by Bill.
Yeah, textbook save from Bill Jones there. That's Colin O'Reilly gets it almost in his hand, but that's Travis Schaefer. Colin O'Reilly doesn't give up. All of a sudden, he comes back in, can get it to his hand, break away from Travis Schaefer, covered by multiple people. Smartly resets his. That's another save. A flurry of shots, a flurry of saves. This is, I believe that's Niall now covering Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy running down the field.
He's fouled. I think he'd have taken the advantage there. But
he would have taken the advantage, but I think the result's going to be the same. I got to imagine everyone on the red line right now is thinking, just let this go in. There's I think we got this game in the bag here. In fact, it'll be only Bill Jones. No, Bill Jones is calling for a line. No, he won't.
Nobody wants to stand on the line.
And here comes Brian Murphy. And he almost gets a stick on that, but that's a goal for Brian Murphy.
So it looks like Bill and Brian are shouting at each other.
Some frustration on the field now. I saw them talking at half about something, but they were actually hugging, so it couldn't have been that bad. But
that almost dribbled in.
Yeah,
I think it had something to do with giving time for folks to get on the line, but I'm not sure.
All right. Brian Murphy now with the solo. He's going to want to punish. And he doesn't. What a save. That's a blistering shot and a great save from Bill Jones. But this is Colin O'Reilly. This could go in here. Colin's got a great shot. Almost gets another stick on it. And, temper's flaring high here all of a sudden. But that's a goal for Colin O'Reilly.
Score is 74-55.
And a very effective scorer Colin O'Reilly has been this game. But here's Nelly with a off the sideline, and that's Bill Jones looking out for his knees there. He's limping. I'm not sure. Maybe he got his foot stepped on. But this is a scrum in the corner. This is, yeah, people
Twigs
taking
coming
errant
out of it.
swings at each other. Something needs to change here. Temperature's flowing really high. Jake Martell.
It's Jake who's back in goal for Sean.
Yep, and he's doing a pretty good job so far. He's got a sure pass, and Derek says enough of giving each other too much pushing and shoving there. It looks like that was
Called on
Twigs.
by Ross.
Yeah, Twig defender.
Ross and Twigs, and Murphy with another goal.
Yeah. And that's sorry, I almost missed that. That's Brian Murphy with another goal. Bill Jones out to Alan Morris, who is trying to be covered and that's Alan Morris not giving up on Brian Murphy. Now Ross Dunford and Brian Murphy are attempting to lift it. That's to Alan Morris. Gives it right back to Ross, and Alan Morris is open now, but Ross will take his time.
Going to go coast to coast.
Not quite, and that's wow. The defense from Green. The defense of Green holding them to 74 points. If they step it up, all of a sudden we could have something interesting brewing here. That'll be a point for Brian Murphy.
It's down to a 15-point game, 74-59.
And not a score in 5 minutes. This is the kind of defense that defense and offensive pressure that Green needed earlier in the game. They could turn it up here. We'll see what happens.
I've noticed Reds made a tactical change though. Ross has gone up full forward.
And this is Colin O'Reilly. Colin O'Reilly soloing. He's got to. Perhaps he didn't. Perhaps he soloed it off the ground. That might have been 3 to the hand. But here is Twigs in front of the Twigs defending with Bill Jones. Bill Jones covered by Tree Peterson. Hand pass over to Twigs. Twigs up front, but it actually deflects on Travis Schaefer. That's Colum. He's got to put it in the back of the net.
Oh, just wide.
And that's a dive, but it was wide. And that's Niall with the pass up to Ross Dunford, who doesn't have a stick, who attempts to hand pass it but doesn't get it off. And that's
like a knuckleball.
Yeah, it's about knuckleballs are a worst nightmare, and a low knuckleball at that.
12-point game.
Timeout taken by Alan Morris, and just like I said, look at that, a 12-point game.
Wow.
Could you believe it? And that's do you know who scored that goal in the last second? I thought that was either that was Niall. That was not sorry, Nelly. David Nelligan with another goal, and seriously, this could be a timeout from Alan Morris to say, all right, guys, we were supposed to score 100 points here. What's going on? The offensive pressure has all but disappeared for Red, and Green has picked it up. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen here? What do you see?
I guess time will tell. It's hard to if Green keeps doing what they're doing the past 5 minutes, we'll be in for a interesting last minute of this game.
A quick goal will make for a single-digit deficit, a 9-point deficit if Green can score a quick goal here. Going to have a good puck out up to Twigs, who can't collect. That's Dave Graff on the field. Dave Graff and Alan Morris covering each other. Ross Dunford gets away with it, and here comes some lockdown defense. No, Jay can't get a stick on it, and that'll be a 15-point deficit just as we talk. And whatever Alan Morris said, I'm sure he just looked at Ross Dunford and said, score a goal after this timeout is over, and that's exactly what he did.
Probably something to that effect.
And so now play resumes here, and
if you look at tactically what Red has done, Allen, Ross, and Twigs are all in attacking positions. Chris Lane is back in the backs again.
That's right, yeah. Just finding a time to get everyone back in their original positions, which was impossible earlier in the game. So that's Colin O'Reilly coming back off the bench for Tree. This will be a free for Twigs. He must take it because he was the one that was fouled. They got to get a stop. They do. It's wide. Alan Morris covered by Brian Murphy. Covered by 3 Green defenders, and that's an easy block down for the 3 covering him. Jake Martell away with it. Up to no one. Okay, Brian Murphy is able to get in the middle. He's got to get it up to Colin O'Reilly, who's going to have a fight for it with Bill Jones. Bill Jones pushes it out. A fight, and Colin O'Reilly will come away with it. Stood up by Niall, a brave Niall. That just might have saved a goal there from Niall. And he might have saved another one with the block down. And Colin O'Reilly has had enough. He's exhausted from that scrum in the corner there. Niall out to Chris Lane. Chris Lane up to Ross Dunford. Ross Dunford
he's going to go
running down. He's got to go for goal here, and not much you can do about that. That's another goal.
That's Matt 80.
From possible man of the match, Ross Dunford. He has been dominant in this game so far. This is Niall trying to get it up to Chris Lane. Chris Lane is now in a fight with Brian Murphy and Colin O'Reilly. Still fighting. Chris Lane still fighting. Flicks it over to Ross Dunford, who's covered by Nelly, who is flicks it to Alan Morris, who's covered by, and the passing, and that's a block from Jake Martell.
Well done.
And that's too much. Derek said Alan dragged Connor D to the ground, and that's Connor D has been doing as much as he can against Alan Morris, especially in the second half. Alan Morris with a 5-goal first half, a 2-goal second half. So something's going right for the defense on Alan Morris. And this could be a goal for Green, but instead the lockdown defense from Red, and that's Ross Dunford streaking
with them. Oh,
and
just wide.
Off to the side. That's Alan Morris now covered by Connor D again, puts a shot on, goes wide. Jake Martell's got time, not really. He's covered by Twigs. Jake Martell gets it up
dangerous.
To Brian Murphy.
Brian Murphy dangerous.
David Graff. David Graff streaking, covered by 2.
Ross just lays him out.
Hit hard. That knee's looking strong. That knee's looking real strong for Dave Graff. He doesn't give him advantage. He said you weren't standing your ground. You might have laid your shoulder into his chest.
He gave it on the second one.
The second one there. Okay, got it. Brian Murphy now lines up to take the defensive free with a 22-point deficit, and now a 21-point deficit. That's a 17-point deficit.
Yeah. Score of 80-63 coming up on the 2-minute mark here.
And Connor D.
Cutting it off.
Kind of first time, 1.5 times gets it to his hand.
Cornerback there undercutting the route.
That's right. And Brian Murphy's looking for a foul of some sorts, but doesn't get it. It's over in the corner. That's Niall who ground hurls it to Chris Lane. Chris Lane in a fight with, I believe that's Nelly. Nelly grabs Chris Lane. Chris Lane walks it off, and a free is awarded to Red. Both teams have used their timeout, so the clock ticks down here with a 17-point deficit and 1:40 left in the game. Ross Dunford, a low shot, but it's actually blocked by Connor D.
It does look at this point the scoreboard's safe for another weekend.
Yes. I'm sure the owners of Kiva are thrilled to hear that. Ross Dunford, and that's
off the rafters.
That's Willie over there with the souvenir. Oh, but he throws it back. He must be a Green fan.
Off the Supermac rafters.
Yes, thank you, Supermax.
Supermax. Best burgers in Ireland.
Best rafters in America. Oh, that's a great save from Bill Jones.
And soon to be the best burgers in Europe after winning a big court case against McDonald's.
And that is a puck out. No kidding, Bill Jones gets a point.
Downtown.
I gotta take a sec to find him on the scoring sheet. That's not us. We got 15 minutes left.
Ross down.
Jake with the tackle. He's like, "Yep, that was me. I did that." But what else can you do?
Gentleman's foul there.
Well, exactly? What else can you do with Ross Dunford in front of the goal like that? You can either give him his free or give him his goal. So, but let's see what happens here. And there's possible man of the match, Ross Dunford, with another goal. With 25 seconds left now, you just want all the players to maybe take it easy. We don't want any injuries here in the last 20 seconds. The score is pretty much locked in. That's
another goal for Twigs.
It's the second goal for Twigs this half. 10 seconds left. Maybe Brian Murphy will say, "I'll take another point here," and Alan will let him. Bill Jones says no. Bill Jones he wants another point. No, he gives it off to Niall, and that's the game, ladies and gentlemen.
So final score, at least on the scoreboard, Red 87, Green 63. We'll sort anything out in post-production. Great showing there by Red. Connor, what was your takeaways from the game?
Well, I saw Red. Captain Alan Morris has drafted members, or premier players at each position. He's got Ross running the mids. He's got himself up front. He's got Chris Lane in the back and Bill Jones in the goal. And that's and of course, with the help of everyone else. I mean, Red has a stacked team, even without those four in the field. So I see Red being a very dominant force, and offensive pressure, amazing passing, and lockdown defense were the keys that won them this game.
So, and now Green again. Green go to 0-3. I don't think they play again for at least a few weeks. Their season's prospects at making the postseason are probably dim to none at this point.
That's right.
But they'll gather here for a team photo. Green, another tough showing. Like, they didn't let up there in the second half. I think they almost 63, 73, 83. They outpaced Red by 1 in the second half. And they scored within kind of their normal scoring balance, so 61, 68, 63, all 3 games of the year. So a good team. I think where they could have gone different this year, if you look at their scoring spread, a lot more points than goals, like a ratio than what Red did this week, than what White did last week, and then what Black did the first week. So
it's true.
I think for future captains out there, be looking at that. Brady running over, taking down the cameras.
That's our GM here, bright and early, just supporting the club.
So next week we have Red against Black, showdown of 2 1-0 teams. I think that will be a tough battle.
That'll be very telling of where the season is going. Blue, their one disadvantage is that they haven't got any practice on the field yet this season. However, they've been able to see every single team in action, so that's going to be huge for Blue coming in a couple weeks. So before we wrap up here, man of the match discussions. Who do you think has it?
So our leading scorer of the day was Ross, and the referee's coming over here as well to talk with us. I'd be hard pressed to say. So Ross, tons of scores. Bill had a bunch of saves in goal. If we remember a few flurries where Bill had 4, 5, 6 saves in a row, point blank saves even.
That is very true, and a point. So he's also on the scoreboard there. But we'll see. We'll see who referee Derek Hayes awards it to in the post-game interview. Before we sign off here, I'll go over the standings. Right now we have Black 1-1, White.
Oh no, Black's 1-0.
Oh, sorry about that. Black 1-0, White 1-0, Blue 0-0. Or sorry, that'll be Red 1-0, Blue 0-0, and Green 0-3. Good broadcast partner.
Yeah, it's fun to do it here.
And this is
with you, Connor.
This is Connor Jones.
This is Matt Daly
Signing off.
Take care, everybody.
Ross, well done. Congrats on man of the match. Tell us about the game. How'd it go?
Yeah, it was a good game. It was tough fought. I think everybody's fairly unfit after the winter, but it was a good run around for the first day.
Good stuff. Are you ready for next weekend?
No.
And most importantly, what's going to be your breakfast at Moose's?
The early bird.
The early bird special. You heard it here.